Okay, and here we come on to the next part of the Bayonetta walkthrough. Well, the extras of it anyway. Now the main thing that I'm showing off right now is the alternate characters. Now there's a reason that I am just going through the game on easy for when I'm playing as Jeanne, just because I just wanted a nice easy run. Well, that was a very stupid move, because my main reason for playing as Jeanne was to get her alternate costumes, but to get them you need to complete the game on normal. So Jeanne is one of the alternate characters. You can see here kind of what happens with the cutscenes when you have alternate characters in them, or even alternate costumes, is that certain parts of the cutscenes are kind of more pre-rendered than others. But most of them are done with in-game graphics, which is very impressive. Also, it's very weird to see Jeanne doing all of this stuff, because Jeanne's the Ice Queen, and this type of flamboyance is slightly odd in Jeanne. So yes, the majority of this part is going to be dedicated to Jeanne, because Jeanne is the most different. Well, has the most different stuff going on. Whereas Zero, who you get for beating Angel Slayer, the Lost Chapter, he has Bayonetta's weapons and doesn't really speak, he just grunts, as you'll see. Also, he's really weird to play as, essentially because he only has 2 hits on him, which isn't as fun as you'd think. Well, it doesn't sound fun at all, so So, yes, basically, as you start the game, Jeanne is in the same position as Bayonetta in the sense that, right now she only has handguns, but eventually you will get all for one, just as Bayonetta got Scar Prepare, which is awesome. But yes, now the main kind of... I believe I did discuss this when we played as Jeanne during the main story. But the main difference with Jeanne is that she can dodge infinitely, but as a result, you can't enter Witch Time when you want to. Which basically means that your only way of doing that is by using Bat Within. Now, at the minute, I've got the Immortal Marionette equipped, because that's what automatically happens on easy mode and very easy mode. And basically, you've just got to tap like the Y button or the B button, and the game kind of plays itself. I mean, you've still got the ability to put stuff in, but it's quite fun just kind of seeing the spectacular combos that can be pulled off. But yeah, I can't say that I'm a fan of playing as Jeanne, if only because I do like going into Witch Time, and removing that is kind of just like, this is going too quickly. Which means that I'm going to be screwed when it comes to doing non-stop infinite climax mode, because it shuts it off well, should switch time off essentially. But yes, I should probably just discuss Jeanne's weapons whilst we are doing this, because basically what I want to show you is kind of the main bits with Jeanne. So I'll show you all of the infernal demon summons, bits of all the boss fights and so on, so you can see the difference. Now, on Jeanne's all-for-one guns, the feathers that are attached to them are apparently said to have belonged to angels that Jeanne killed. So, pretty grim. And also they were given a quite complex design specifically to contrast to Scarlet Fair, which is definitely more simple in comparison.
Lost memories calling you out.
Either way,
I got a little present for you.
here we have the equipping of
Babies are special.
the all-for-one guns. This is a weird cutscene.
Kill to get his hands on. Don't break these, because they're one of a kind.
Because the guns change mid-scene and everything. It's so bizarre. You see, the second she picks it up, it becomes all-for-one. It's a bit odd seeing it happen. Oh well. Now, the variant of the onyx roses that Jeanne has are the garnet roses. So basically they're just kind of recoloured to match Jeanne's style, and yeah, they're not really got much kind of really that's really important with them. Also, when you're playing as Jeanne, she draws a little J and I think a circle, just like Bayonetta draws a B and a heart. Now, we are right now going to hear the first. Well, we've already heard some of Jeanne's Enochian, because Jeanne has her own versions of the Enochian settings. So what Jeanne says to summon Gamora is Oxextra Clear, which is to vomit weeping, or to vomit and weep. Depends how you want to go about it. Yeah, for the most part, all of Jeanne's summons are they're all white and red. Although there is the odd occasion where the summon is the black hair variant. It changes. Can't really be helped, unfortunately. Now, Jeanne's version of Sharaba is called Angel Slayer, which is exactly the same as Sharaba, except that it's got a green glow instead of a purple one. And kind of unlike most of the other weapons, it seems to kind of canonically be the third weapon of choice, because it is wielded numerous times in combat alongside all-for-one. And I believe that's that for Angel Slayer. Jeanne's version of Kulshadra is Vritra. Bit difficult to say. Basically, it was a large serpent in early Vedic religion, which is the historical predecessor of Hinduism.
Such a disappointment.
Also, when you play as Jeanne and Zero, they also have their own variant of the Platinum and Pure Platinum awards, which is quite cool. And also, Jeanne has her own version of Serious Mode, which is quite cool. Now, the summon for Malphas I believe is Adrapan. Just because kind of that's what it sounds like, if anything. Because there is information that says that Jeanne says Athropos, which means cast down, which I have to say I don't quite agree with that pronunciation, because to me it sounds a lot more like Adrapan, although I can't quite remember what Adrapan means. Now when she summons Heckin Hair, that one seems to be Zenerza, which means I swear. And yes, I have to. That seems to definitely be the case. Also, yes, it does seem that when Jeanne summons Malphas, it is Adrapan, which also means cast down, so you can see where the confusion was introduced. So I'll also be inserting a few of the cutscenes that I think are just quite awesome. The variant of Durga that Jeanne has is called Kali, which is named after Kali, she who destroys, who is the consort of Shiva, and is the many-armed Hindu goddess of death and destruction, associated with limitless and eternal energy. Apparently, Kali is an aspect of Durga. Then Jeanne's version of Kilgore is Lieutenant Colonel Slade, or just Colonel Slade, who I believe is named after the blind Colonel, Lieutenant Colonel Frank Slade from the film Scent of a Woman. And then you have Odette, and Jeanne's version of that is called Karen. And basically Karen is a reference to the Red Shoes, which is an old fairy tale by Hans Christian Andersen, in which Karen is a spoiled and vain child who becomes obsessed with her expensive new red shoes, which she obtained through trickery, and is cursed to dance in them eternally even after death. Also, it's kind of sucky, but yeah, a lot of Jeanne's Enochian is repeated, but these things happen. Now, Jeanne's version of Pillow Talk is called Bloody Moon, which is a reference to a blood moon or a hunter's moon, which is kind of when the moon is a grim, kind of crimson orangey colour that's bright enough to allow people to hunt by even at night, which is obviously when the moon comes out. Oh dear. But apparently, well, due to kind of the description and the heart-shaped charm, it could kind of be a it got talks of transformation, because it's all mentions QTJ, which is one of Jeanne's outfits that you can get. So there's probably a reference there into like Sailor Moon and Cutie Honey, specifically Cutie Honey. And apparently, if you Jeanne has a unique taunt with Bloody Moon. Although I don't quite know what it is, I've never got it. Now the Enochian for Phantasmarine is Emna ol obsexra clear, which is herein I make you vomit and weep. Now the last kind of changed weapon name is Saifeng, and Jeanne's version is called Tanglung, which is named after the character portrayed by Bruce Lee in the martial arts film Way of the Dragon. And I think, and other than that, Brazilians, they just change colour, and Rodan and the handguns don't change at all.
Welcome to my fantasy zone. Get ready.
And, yes, this is what happens when you get the kind of original music for this mission. I didn't do it on the Afterburner one, but I did do it here. So it's just quite a cool little change of pace. And we are already kind of getting to the end of Jeanne's run of the game. I mean, obviously it is exactly the same as Bayonetta's version, except Jeanne plays differently. But it's certainly kind of a fun challenge to try to play it with all the different characters, and there have been crazy people who have managed to, I believe, pure platinum the game on every difficulty. Also, like every chapter, every difficulty, with kind of every single character. It's just like, how? And just because it's awesome, I'm going to let you hear You May Call Me Father again with the battle with Boulder. Also because you have multiple infernal demon summons during this, so you kind of need it. Also, you might be lucky enough to see his other move, in which he uses a satellite to fire down, and also eventually throws it at you if you take long enough. Because basically what it's got Stumper on 16D, which is basically a massive reference to Fantasy Zone, because there's a boss called Stumperon, and I believe initially it worked on Sega board, which was either 16A or 16B. It was one of the two. And then there was a sequel to Fantasy Zone, well, unofficial, but there was also an official one. It was rather weird. And yes, basically the board was called there was a new board when people were allowed to play it on a kind of this custom board, and that was 16C. So Kamiya-san thought he would take it a step further and put 16D on the satellite, which is just really cool. In his developer commentary, he did quite a long kind of chunk about that satellite, which was just quite cool. I feel really bad that you're not going to get to see it, but I'm sure you'll see it on many other Bayonetta videos, so just have a little look and you'll be able to see it. And here we go with Jubileus coming to summon Queen Sheba. Now, one thing that I kind of haven't mentioned is that in easy mode, there are no broken witch hearts or broken moon pearls, so you have that amount of health and that amount of magic from the beginning, and that doesn't change. Also, you can take off the immortal marionette, which is what I did. So I'm playing myself. Now, Jeanne's summon there for Queen Sheba, I believe we think it's something along the lines of Emna ol Adrapan Adna Znerza Exex Raklia. Something along those lines. I'm not too sure myself, but basically it means I herein make you cast down, swear your obedience, and vomit weeping. But Jeanne's so lovely. Jeanne does also have her own unique taunt, like when you hold the left bumper for longer, and it basically talks about yes, it's I will die before I allow the Umbra to vanish from this world. And here we have Zero. What it's like, because he's a jittery little sod, I'll tell you what. Basically he uses the exact same weapons as Bayonetta, and he basically just kind of floats there and looks weird. I'm really kind of not a fan of him. Basically, he moves faster than Jeanne and Bayonetta, but he has a dodge limit like Bayonetta does, and doesn't speak any words, so it's just grunts, sighs, ticks, growls, and so on. And he doesn't actually hold weapons, so he just holds his scepter, and he is always jittering and spinning his scepter around, no matter what he's doing, even when cutscenes are going on, which is irritating. Now, the thing with Zero is, well, Little King Zero, to be more precise, is that health is completely different. In that the first hit to hurt Zero, including environmental hazards, take his health down to almost zero, so the health bar empties completely. And if you don't take action to replenish some of that health, any second hit will always kill Zero. However, because of this, he can technically survive on limited hits, just as long as you replenish that health out of the danger zone before the next hit. So, kind of using lollipops and red shot hot shots are probably your best bet of surviving. But when creating lollipops, go for the small ones, because any amount of health will sort you out. And due to the unique health system, each hit causes Zero to lose however much health he had at the time, which means that damage calculations can be a lot higher than you'd expect. However, on very easy difficulty, Zero's health will begin to regenerate after a few seconds, just like Bayonetta and Jeanne do. So basically you can take unlimited hits, because you regenerate health. Which is helpful, but still. I just really dislike Zero. I really kind of don't want to play as him. I just wanted to show off what Zero is like. Because he's weird. Like, seriously weird. He creeps me out.
Haven't you figured it out yet? There's no quarter for you in this world.
So all you're going to see is just this verse with Zero and then no more. Because I don't really want to play as him anymore. Jeanne I can deal with. Jeanne I dealt with twice. Zero, not really as enamoured with. And here you can see what happens when you get a platinum medal as Zero. Statue's still cool, but Zero's still weird.